Hey guys, so I thought I'd give you guys a quick look at Black Geyser, Couriers of Darkness. Where we are right now, we just came back here to sell a whole lot of stuff. I'm a little dwarf here. Got a magic axe, my first magic item. It's the Howl of the Wolf Mother, and it allows me to cast. Oh, here it's here actually. Howl of the Wolf Mother. And it lets him cast a spell where he has two wolves accompanying him, which I thought was pretty cool. Let's rest a minute so we can use it. Oh, we can't rest it. I can't cast it right now because like Dungeons and Dragons, you're limited to cast on things. So, this is my main character, who is a Feldegug Winter Mage. And what a Feldegug is basically an ice elf. Elves that come from the realm of snow, like the northern realms. As we go through and start to show you the basic systems here, I'll kind of talk about what's going on in the storyline, but I'm really getting into it. We're about the 5th hour maybe. 5th hour of gameplay. Apparently it's around 60 hours of gameplay for you to check out. So let's see what we've got here. So our main character, at the start we're an orphan, and we are in a manor house called House Espen. When a raid happens on the house, I mean, it's a country torn apart by civil war. Everybody's trying to be the king and all this kind of Game of Thrones stuff. So when Lord Espen is slain by his oldest son, we get teleported away by a witch, and that's kind of where the tutorial starts. During that time, we found out that we are the heir to Lord Espen's estate because we're his son, and the guy that killed him, Aldenar, was our half brother. All very medieval, high fantasy, classic stuff. So right now, we're in the city of Ismeraldale or something like this. It's a weird word to pronounce. I came here to sell stuff to the blacksmith because we're kind of overburdened. Clicking this, we'll go onto the world map and we'll talk to a bit more. So this is how we travel. Yes, it's where the city of Isselbright. We were in the market street here. So you click on the different regions to kind of travel to them. When you travel out of the city, like to the Merchant's Road or the Hidden Cabin, you risk an encounter, which we've been doing, sort of like grinding up some money so I could get that axe, the new hammer from my dwarf. I don't really know what else is on sale here. I haven't really explored the city that much. We're just kind of doing the storyline now. So the Hidden Cabin is the second place we go. That's where the witch kind of ported us away to. Here's Espen's estate. So what we've just completed is we had to go to the Espen estate, which is now just a haunted mansion, and we had to find proof of our birthright and take the proof of our birthright to the keeper in the records, and then they've recognised us as the owner of Lord Espen's estate, but it doesn't really give us anything other than a title. Our next place of interest that we have to go is Deron Guld. I guess it's another city, but we have some other places we can explore. Now I was just exploring the Valley of Singing Trees, which looks like it's a good place to kind of grind some experience and get some more money and some gears. I don't think I've been here before. Scofarth. Let's go here, let's see what this is. So yeah, that's basically the story, where we were an orphan. The Lord gets killed, we find out that we're his heir. The eldest son doesn't have a claim to the title because he's basically a traitor to the king, so the king won't recognise him. We familiarise ourselves with the systems. The combat system in this is real time with pause. It's pretty cool. I don't know if it's based on any specific edition of Dungeons and Dragons, but it feels a lot like, you're limited to how many spells you can cast before you have to rest. If you rest in an inn room in the city, you regain more health per rest, whereas if you rest out in the wild, you've got to rest a few times before you're fully healed up. So our main quest here is travel to Deron Guld Gates, but we're kind of exploring things. We're trying to make some money. like I say, we did just make quite a lot. We had a big battle and managed to take all the weapons and armour from the soldiers that we killed. Explore these little houses. Yeah, this game's very much inspired by games like Baldur's Gate and Pillars of Eternity. Blasted little buggers, I hope the bone rot takes them kobolds. Hello there, I wonder if you might do a small service and fast. They've been robbed. How'd you come to be robbed out here? It's those damn conniving kobolds. They snuck into town to steal food as they often do. Caught them right in the middle of the crime, but they were too swift for me. What exactly was stolen from you? You can see that I'm a fisherman, right? They stole my fish, yesterday's catch, and my beautiful lot they were. Fat and fresh, glimmering like the king's mail. Everyone in the village eats my fish, and now all the hard work is going to feed those cretins. Well, we've got to slay some kobolds. Are all those kobolds down for you? Do you know where I can find them? Check the moonstone clearing to the northwest, that's mostly where they come from. Stole 3 racks of fish, thank you for your help. Return with my catch, and there'll be a reward for you as well. So okay, we found a little side quest to go and do, show you guys the combat system. You should probably rest to regain spells. You can rest anywhere, it just basically turns day to night. Certain places you can't go in at night, and maybe certain places enemies change. So our follower here, Helgenhar, we met him on the road after we left the cabin, heading to the city of Thistlebright for the first time. He's a dwarven fighter. He's trying to... There's a blood feud happening in his homeland, and he came to the city to find out how blood feuds were settled in the past. This is Lady Biala. She's a really powerful spellcaster, has a lot of good spells. Corrosive Bolt. I guess I can show you these. These are level 1 spells. Really we want to be using the level 2 ones as often as we can. So she can summon a wolf. This is a sort of big nuke. It does heat damage, pulse and blow damage, and extra damage to inerrants, which I guess is like tree people. Riding lightning. It's an AoE that hits everyone with lightning damage and moves us out of the way. She's a spell weaver, so basically a wizard. She's a better spellcaster than my character. We have some similar spells, our level 2 spells are similar. I have a ice snow that I could throw to do 6 to 21 cold damage. Predator's Fangs allows me to steal life. And our dwarf here, he has Berserk Rage, a defensive stance. I guess I could show you guys these. That's basically just his Berserk. Defensive stance. These are marked as consumables because this is an effect he's getting from his weapon. This is an effect that he's getting from a necklace that doesn't show us anything. A necklace that makes it hard for him to be charmed or illusion, because this guy's our tank, so we need to keep him alive. So to the northwest, this guy said. Somewhere over this way probably. What's this here? At the dock. Let's just explore to the northwest.
I go.
Don't you, if you insist.
We'll check the barrels. Never know what we might find in barrels. Ooh, a warhammer. So items need to be identified, which you just right click them and click identify. The Dwarven Warhammer, it's worth 60 gold. Warhammers are one of the main weapon types dwarves are drawn towards naturally. These simple but effective weapons utilise their natural strength and brawn to relentlessly pulverise their enemies until they give them up or turn them into pancakes. Well, that's something to sell back at the...
On the move.
back at the city. We pretty much sold everything to get some new armour for the dwarf and a new weapon. I haven't tried them out yet, but we should be survivability should be a lot higher. I want to kill the fox. Kill the wolf though. So they will just attack naturally. We sort of just click the spells, but with 3 attacks, the wolf stood no chance, no point wasting spells on him. Cobalt's probably going to be the same. I have a feeling what we're looking for is going to be over this bridge, so you can click on an area of the map and just send the characters there.
Go ahead. As you say.
What? I do your bidding this time.
No kobolds, but some people. Let's talk to them.
Can I help you?
Hello over there, don't be shy, we no harm, at least not today. If you happen to encounter some shady traders selling magic potions, but no matter, they must be far and gone by now, the dastards. Why, how are we in Scofar? Last time I looked we hadn't left Fastagrove. Never volunteered for such an experience, no, we didn't agree to it, it's a violation. Don't worry about that one. Alright, well, there's... just leave them with that. Let's try and find these kobolds. I don't want to waste too much time on dialogue, we want to get to the good stuff, the fighting. I wonder if I leave this part of the map, do I get new places opening up? Because you kind of have to... Where's my dwarf? Oh, we need to wait for the dwarf. Yeah, that did work. So, if we come in, if we leave areas from a different exit, like if we leave for the bottom exit, we probably will unlock this area. So we need to kind of explore all the different areas to... So now we're in the Moonstone clearing. So no, that's where we had to go to. That's where the guy said that the kobolds were. So we had to come all the way to this side of the map to open up this new area. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I guess it's sort of in a way open world. We can be exploring now. This is kind of the first part of the game which is allowing us to explore different areas, as well as, you know, our main quest leading us to Deron Guld. But I think I want to explore for a bit. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Dwarfy can summon his wolves.
Yes.
Yala, let's also summon a wolf. And my character can... Let's hit them with our biggest nuke. I'll hit this one. So it's pretty straightforward. There's group looting, so you kind of loot everything at once, which is good. You don't have much. So this is the whole map. There isn't like anything to the side, but if we leave for this exit, we'll probably find somewhere different. I guess we came in from this exit, maybe. So if we leave from the top or the bottom or the side, we'll probably find something new. We're going to put that theory to the test. Let me check my journal, see if that updated it. Okay, Gerd told me kobolds mostly come from the situated in the northwest. If I find a stolen fish, I should look for them first. So we need to like loot stolen fish. Let's just explore this area.
Don't you have on the move?
I'm always ready. I'll make it.
What? I do your bidding this time.
There's the top exit and we're going there. So let's see where the bottom exit may lead us. Destination is too far. We are here. So no new places there. I guess we'd have to take the bottom dock to get to Tallgorn's Glen. Let's have a look around here first. There's cobalts and stolen fish.
Yes, I know.
Fresh meat. I don't think there are any more cobalts here. Or maybe not loot one. If there are no more, we just head to Deron Guld. We've got some experience for killing them, but it looks like we're not going to help this guy with his fish. There are no more cobalts in this whole area. It's weird.
So tiresome.
Anyway, you guys got to see the combat system there. You can travel to Deron Guld from here. Pretty cool. We made it without getting attacked. Halt there, unless you want your guts rearranged for you. Perhaps if people use their manners, there will be less cause for war. What's the hold up? Here's a missive from King Valeric, now can I pass? Very well, you can go ahead. Missive from the king, let's open the gate. So, travel to Deron Guld Centre. Dead person in the middle of the streets, never a good sign. So these green markers are merchants, and these are all homes. I guess in any of these homes we could find a quest. There's a tavern, always best to rest in the tavern for to regain most of your health. And a temple, we're probably going to find some interesting things in the temple. And leaving by these exits, we're probably going to unlock new places. So, I guess this is the centre. See what happens when we travel here. Oh, we already were there.
On the move. Yes.
Greetings, fellow soul. Blessed be your day. Only my master brothers and sisters have gathered in the city. And this is where we're needed most. It's our duty now to protect these poor souls from evil that lurks in the shadows. Okay, what are these orbs for? Serve a singular purpose to cast the light off Alnarius on these souls and die in need of them. Through our prayer, this light now swirls encased in these globes of glass ready to touch the second week. Maybe the center is here.
I do your bidding this time.
I'm listening. I go.
Can I help you?
Theatre's closing to further notice, okay. Let's try a tavern. Usually some interesting information can be found in the tavern.
Yes, I know. If you insist.
Yes?
Faithful of Alnaris have come to help. Now, let's have a look at the journal. I finally arrived at the gates of Guld. Both the walls and guards stationed outside look uninviting. I am not welcome here, yet I must venture forth to carry out the task bestowed upon me by King Valinark. With Rosh dead, I have to find the leaders of Guld and speak to them on behalf of His Majesty and myself. So we need to find the leaders of Deron Guld. Okay. I don't want to make this video too long. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a first impressions of this game, which is pretty good. Really enjoying it so far. I guess if you like games like Pillars of Eternity or Baldur's Gate, you're probably going to like this. Welcome to Mount Ranger, what can I do for you? Can you tell me about this place? So Mount Ranger, the finest lodging one can find in Guld. The view from my rooms is majestic. We don't need a room right now, but we may come back here and find the leaders. Okay, much here. Time to just go back out. I don't want to waste too much video time. So I don't want to make this much longer than half an hour. It's just to sort of get an idea what Couriers of Darkness offers here. Talk to this wise looking fellow. He doesn't have much to say.
Speak your mind.
Bakery, let's use a ramshackle guard's house. The guard's house, a family home. Probably the academy is a good place to start. Or the priest's home. Herbalist there. Let's try the academy.
If you insist.
It's also worth noting that crafting in this is basically brewing and drying or alchemy. We don't really have the things we need to do that yet. Each thing requires a heat source and the ingredients. We don't have a cauldron yet. We should probably buy a cauldron. If we can buy one here, But we don't have much gold either, because kind of spent it on my dwarf's battle hammer. Okay.
Can I help you?
Can I help you?
Hmm?
The academies we go. Have a look at the shelves. Dust of the long night. Probably shouldn't steal it. Well, let's do what happens if we do. He's not bothered.
If you insist, speak your mind.
We can't get to that shelf.
On the
Mysterious.
move.
Ah, there's a lot of things in here we could check though. I already have a scroll of identify. Matching powder. I don't think he saw me. If they're close when you do that, they'll see you stealing. And they'll try and fight you. As long as they're not looking. Ooh, I could get a summon wolf scroll as well, perhaps. No, only convokers and spellweavers. I'm not going to steal it because can't use it. Powder of... Okay, take those alchemy scrolls. Why not? We'll come all the way here.
I do your bidding. This time.
So... no leaders here. Take that off the list, but we got some alchemy scrolls, so what is that? Usually wasted effort.
Greetings.
Let's talk to a guard, I guess. I haven't tried that yet. Finish the day and the cat. Okay.
Speak your mind.
Maybe travel to the temple. And try going inside the temple this time. Unless there is a different... oh no, wait, there might be a different... right, there might be a different area here. Let's try this.
If you insist.
Because like, when you go to the city, you go to the city gates, you have to travel past it to get to like the city proper and the castle district and everything.
I'm listening.
So if this is a city, it's probably got more areas. So instead of looking around this one, let us see if there is another part to the city. It's like my spellweaver's not turned up. Should be okay though.
I go.
Gather the party. Who's she?
Yes, I'm always ready.
Ah, she's on her way.
Don't you have another lick, Spittle?
Aha, so Deron Guld Centre is a bigger part. We would only let the Deron Guld gates when you go to the centre. Mystery solved. Probably won't make this too much longer. We'll find out what we have to do here, and if you guys want to see more episodes of this, yeah, depending on how well this post does. But like I said, I just wanted to kind of make you guys aware this game exists, and that it's pretty good. You know, so far enjoying the storyline. It's very Game of Thronesy, Dungeons and Dragons. The combat system's fun. Looking forward to seeing what new items we get, what high level stuff, high level areas there are. Hoping there's a nice icy region. I imagine we'll find another companion. I think it's up to 5 companions altogether in the party. We haven't met one since we met Lady Bujala, so I'm imagining we're going to get one here. So enter the Guild Hall in Deron Guild Centre. So we find the Guild Hall. More merchants to explore. Okay, a general store, Couriers shop, and an armory. There's the Guild Hall here. Before we go to the Guild Hall, let's have a little look at the armory, see what's available in this area.
If you insist, speak your mind.
It's a lot to explore now, so it's pretty cool. Like, it's not. What? There's a dead giant. Okay, I guess we're going to fight giants at some point. It's pretty cool.
Can I help you?
Solomon the blacksmith. You only sell armor. What do you have in stock? Yeah, it's pretty much the same as the other guy. Oh, some different things. Tunic of the Vigilant. We don't have armor class in this game. You just see how it says like 15% stabbing, 10%. So no, sorry, I'm wearing a noble's coat, so yeah, I can't wear the hauberk. I can only wear light armor, and I think maybe medium. Star Spangled Great Shield, 1,500. Yeah, it's not too great, this stuff here. Does have a cauldron which we need. We have enough to buy the cauldron. Okay, I'm going to buy the cauldron so we can maybe show you the crafting, I guess. Came all the way here. Let's see if we can figure this out. Marching powder. This spell summons a cloud of fine powder that filters down from above the circulating area. The powder has a stimulating effect over allied targets. Come into contact with the skin, allies inside the effect are strengthened, inspired. Oh, so basically conjures cocaine, but only Lady Bujala can use that. Anyway, let's do some brewing. So if we drag that here, we should be able to brew this into, I think this will make berry juice, which is like a healing juice. Yeah. So we made an infusion of berry juice. The cauldron stays there the whole time, so now we can brew what we need. Put us on our potions and powders. But what that does is it restores 5 health for 3 turns. You're drying. I might be able to do. I think I might have a candle to show you guys. Yeah, I do have 1 candle. So let's just turn these into powders. These insects that we found on our travels, can turn these into dried insects, and then we need to crush them. Takes a little time, and now we've turned our insects into powders that can be used in alchemy. So that's how brewing and drying works. So now what we got? Powder of nausea, powder of darkness, and mundane powder. So yeah, different insects and herbs can be brewed together. I guess we've got these. So combine brownstem mushroom powder with powder of darkness to create this mixture. We can find, if we find brownstem mushrooms, we can make this. Okay, so we kind of look at the drying there. It's cool. We've got a cauldron now. We can brew things.
If you
Where
insist.
do we need to go? Okay, we'll go to the guild hall. I think off camera I'm going to have a look around all the other merchants, especially the herbalist. We still have some gold. Let's see where the herbalist is. If it's in this area, we just go there. Maybe we can brew some new things. So I have some recipes to scribe. I should probably scribe those as well. Dust of the long night. So strong potion of heroic defense. Need a brimstone mushroom. Powder of darkness. Terror leaf. Spore horror's eye. Pity ring. Heat level medium. Make a potion of strong potion of heroic defense. Yeah, what are the ones to have here? Powder of infatuation. Whoever said destruction is an art never tried it the easy way. Ingredients: twin souls. Shockwing. Surrounded by an angry mob, they can't hit you if they can't move. Buy yourself just enough time to escape. Okay, so there's some interesting new recipes. If I'm going to scribe the marching powder, I need to give it to Jala, so I need to drop it. And click on Jala,
Yes.
and she can pick it up. She can scribe that. What level is it? Yeah, I think we have to go to spellbook. You know, like old EverQuest, we need to describe the spells. So level 5, I guess I need to be level 5 to use these. So I can't add them to my hotbar yet, because I think she's only level 4. Yeah, she's level 4. We need to get to level 5 to use a couple of our spells. It's cool that we found them. That's kind of how you get spells in this game. When you level up, I think you might get access to some at certain levels, but it seems that mostly you find them out in the wild, like kind of what we did there. Yeah, come across recipes and spells just as we go. It's a good idea to look around them. So this is the Crower's shop. The general store. So the herbalist was in the other area. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that off camera. Okay, just follow the story. We don't want this to be too long. We're just going to give you impressions of the different systems in the game. And
I'll make it.
probably what I'll do after we find out what's going on here is I'll go to one of the areas where I can grind some experience and get some money. Then I'll play around with the alchemy system.
Speak your mind.
Oh, I only took the one character there.
Don't you have another lick, Spittle?
Keep your distance, very of the plague, right? Lord Elias, got me a message for the War Council. Of course, my lord, go right in. Okay, so we all went at the one time. We need to bring the other characters over. The guild hall, upper floor. Set a variety of behaviour for your party members. Okay, I need to know that. Yeah, I'll try to keep this under the 1 hour mark. Like I say, it's just a sort of first impressions, or just my thoughts on the game. I'm finding that I want to keep progressing this. You know, I've got like 15 minutes or a half hour spare. We jumping into Black Geyser these last couple of days, learning about the story and learning sort of what the game has to offer. But yeah, and I never played Pillars of Eternity or the old Baldur's Gate game, so this is kind of like a first for me. It's because I guess it's because it's new. Like it's only newly out this month. Just why I'm so drawn to it. Plus, you know, it's good story writing, good voice acting, intriguing enough to keep playing. Some bits are really dialogue heavy, and I imagine this is going to be quite dialogue heavy. But we'll see we go. The most esteemed Lord Hilarious. My lord, at last you've arrived. I trust you've brought word from the king? Indeed I have, Lord Frelsai, in the form of this letter, and may I extend His Majesty's most felicitous greetings. That's a strange word. Thank you, my lord.
What are you then? Mongrel or thief?
So Lord Aldenar is our half brother. He slayed our father, basically. Are they mongrel or thief? Badly insult outlaws. I don't bandy insults with outlaws and patricides. I'll do that.
You... How I ought to...
Lord Aldnar, your temper serves you better on the battlefield than in council. We, all of us, have more pressing questions to attend to. Now, Lord Espen, please enlighten us as to the purpose of this diplomat contingent.
Afraid I can't answer that. A diplomatic assigned by His Majesty was unfortunately slain en route. To see whether any of you are ready to give up his foolishness before Deron goes over on bargain persuasion skills not great. To offer terms in which the War Council accepts will mean immediate peace between the Kingdom and Deron Guld. To demand Deron Guld's unconditional surrender. Well, let's just tell him that the diplomat was slayed en route because he was. Yes, that certainly is unfortunate. These are unfortunate times. Very well. Like Lord Aldnar, I'm most curious to know how you came by your noble title. I'd never heard of your name before today, Lord Laris.
Here, here. Explain yourself, boy.
Aldnar was such a disappointment to Lord Espen. He cast around for another woman close at hand to produce a new heir. That woman was my mother. That's my claim to the title. Oh, Aldnar's also a traitor. Wellgrave wants to separate his house, so Aldnar's the eldest. Forwarded his title when he killed my father. Stuck in the old record, scratched the elder's name on the right piece of... Two sounds like the best one. Aldnar is a traitor. You'll forfeit him in the title you don't watch your tongue, swine. Easy there, Lord Aldnar. You may continue your spat when the council's business is finished. Is King Velianric ready to negotiate in good faith? I've no idea, it depends. His Majesty is ready to negotiate an agreement that balances Deron Guild's vast wealth and Isselbright's military prowess, bargain and persuasion. His Majesty is offering terms he believes to be fair to all... Yeah, let's try bargain and persuasion. Pretty words I only wish they meant something. What are the King's terms? Listen, His Majesty signed a real diplomat, a man by the name of Roch, to answer all these questions. I'm not him. His Majesty is willing to forgive everyone provided the War Council ceases hostilities at once. His terms are quite strict. Well, let's just say that the diplomat was slain. No, Lord Laris, you most surely are not. I have no questions exactly what it is you are qualified to do. Drive oxen, dig graves, perhaps? That at least is something we could use. Let's cut to the point, shall we? Suppose we accede to King Velianric's wishes. What does Deron Guild get out of this agreement? If I could answer your question, that's exactly what we'll do. His Majesty's promised lands to the north, currently held by the Rillo. His Majesty is promising to relax taxes in return for a larger share of ore and bigger mining. Your heads remain in place for the foreseeable future. This is quite deep, I guess. Let's try bargain persuasion again. I don't really know what to pick. Sounds good. I wonder if we could see it in writing. Already know what promises are worth. Reviewed the King's missive and I admit the news is not what I hoped. Get on with it. Yes, let's have it, Lord Frellis. Demands are as follows. The disarming and demobilisation of our army. No! That's not going to happen while I sit on the council. The emissaries just now said their army was needed to help defend the kingdom. An increase in taxation of 20% is in addition to the current agreement. But the pretend Lord Espen said our taxes would be lowered, not increased. Shouldn't have said that. As if the beggary to which we've been reduced is not enough. You may as well try and milk a stone. 75% of our ore to be shipped to the capital without compensation.
Outrage upon outrage.
Outrage upon outrage. The ore represents the very foundation of Deron Guld. Why not just burn the city to the ground and be done with it? And the last demand is the surrender by the War Council of half our lands to be selected by the king. Has Valianric gone mad? That's the only answer that makes sense to me. That's all, lords and ladies. What say you? Purely ridiculous. I feel alright we've been less than forthright. Promised balance, but that was a lie.
This entire pathetic charade has been one long insult to the honor of Deron Guld, especially coming from a nameless, low-born swine such as them. Velianric sent a common gutter snipe to speak on his behalf. What does that say of his intentions? I've spent too much time on this nonsense already.
Okay, well, I guess the king thought we might be killed. Lord Arnor's right, the travesty will not partake of it.
This is
It's
going
nowhere.
nowhere.
It was handled poorly, but after all we had to make without Velianric's diplomat. Yes, he would have known the king's true mind, perhaps he would have been prepared to negotiate. And we want to at least consider a compromise. How much longer can we fight both the plague and Isilbright? Why do these chairs have to be so hard? Whatever the council's feelings on these matters, no decision may be made without every member's participation. Lord Talon's right, let's adjourn for now and think on these matters privately. Lord Hilarious, would you attend me in the chambers, please? Okay, so talk to Lord Frelsai.
If you insist.
Where did Lord Frelsai go? Ooh, there's a whole library, let's check that. Potion of healing, we definitely want that. Go and try and make some potions of healing, that's definitely a good thing to have. Probably shouldn't steal when there's somebody right there. Let's talk. Is that? That's not. That's Lord Daniel.
On the move.
Where is this guy? This looks like a sort of regal place where he might be. His fancy chairs. Here he is, yep. Okay.
Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry you had to go through that. And I'd like it if we were meeting under different circumstances.
Thank you for your kind words. Your compatriots didn't seem to be particularly open-minded about the missive from Isilbright. Well met, Lord Frelsai. Well, now you want to speak cordially. Was it? Just say thank you for your kind words. Let's not piss him off any more than we already have. My most sincere apologies for Aldnar in particular. You must understand what has us all on edge. Be that as it may, as a diplomat, I expected better treatment. Aldnar is a bastard. Being one myself, I know better than most. I understand things are tense and I expect to be well received. Thank you for understanding. I'm glad you're here. We have much to discuss. I should tell you, I knew your father. He was a good man. Stubborn and wrong about who he supported, but a good man nonetheless. You've come to Deron Guld under his banner, the new young Espen. You must understand the connotations. I'd expected some surprises, but not outright hostility. I am the noble, at least I wasn't. Would you enlighten me? If my father's such a good man, then why from any hostile to his banner? Well, you see, I reached out to your father as the rebellion began. I believed he would understand the reasons behind their cause. At first he seemed amenable to listening, but something changed. I know that not what, but my last messenger's head was found bound to a scarecrow on the road just north of here. Shortly thereafter, Lord Espen pledged himself openly to the king. Before any further communication could take place, Aldnar gathered a contingent of her earliest conscripts, and well, you know the rest. There was none I could do. Aldnar murdered her father in cold blood, that many troops on the road, and no one noticed the missing. My father killed your messenger. That seems unlike the man I once knew. Well, he's dead now, nothing can be done about it. To know how that wise problem for me. That's a lot to take in at once. Could you spare me a moment? Okay, Aldnar murdered the father. Things turned chaotic very fast, and they still are. When we declared our independence and rallied our banners, Deron Guld was awash with fighting men. Were many, and we had not yet entirely organised. By the time the other lords and ladies noticed after missing, it was too late. Father killed your messenger. That seems like unlike the man I once knew. It was, but passions run high, and your father was a man of passion. I know why he did. He did. Okay. Can I take a moment? Take your time. Okay, so it seems like this conversation is going to go on.
I do your bidding.
I don't know how much longer we want to. Like I say, it's very dialogue heavy, all this political stuff, and to wade through quite a lot of dialogue here. I just want to fight things and make potions and find fancy loot.
The king sent you here as an insult.
Lord Espen's dead, his houses were razed, his properties became those of the crown, his true-born son renounced his family name and is now a traitor like the rest of us here in Deron Guld, so the king sent Espen's bastard under Espen's banner as the new head of the dead house. The king means to show us that he alone decides the fate of nobility in his lands. Our fates are his to control. So your missive of peace, there are no true terms of surrender. There are, the only way the king will allow peace is one we're all gathered here kneel before the chopping block. So then what's to be done about the missive? The other nobles now need time to discuss the response. The mood at the moment seems well rather hostile. I'm more inclined towards keeping lines of communication open despite the king's insult, but there are other pressing matters which I must also attend to of more immediate import. Do not fear, young Espen, your head will not perch upon a scarecrow while I yet live. Before we discuss your mission further, though, I feel you have questions. What's the current state then? Geld conditions look bleak to the way in. Jeez, here, the bodies piled in the streets. What's going on? Yes, you'll have noticed on your way into the city there are very few people on the streets alive anyway. You'll almost have noticed the markings on the buildings, the own houses where the plague has taken root. Nobody's allowed inside those places and nobody out. A month ago, citizens of Deron Guld and our soldiers stationed here began to come down with a terrible illness. It's a terrible wasting illness. It begins with coughing and progresses to fever and death. Healers, priests and wizards alike suffer a cure but have come up with nothing. It spread slowly in the beginning, but quickly turned into a ripple of death, decimating our citizens. We had plans for war of attrition before that, but I'm afraid that's not an option anymore. The graveyard overflows and was expanded, but we have reached a point where we're simply dumping the bodies in pits. These days we barely have enough manpower to collect the bodies of the streets to begin with. I'm afraid that if we do not find a treatment soon, it will signal the last few coffin breaths for Deron Guld. What's the state of the war against this outbreak? It's not going well, I'm afraid. Our forces are stretched thin across the countryside. We recently had some sort of sabotage in the iron mines, which has halted production of weapons and trade goods. The war has drawn out too long without any decisive victories, and it's hurting morale. Our resources, both manpower and rations, are dwindling, and things aren't going to get any better unless something changes. What's worse, people have begun to disappear from the houses at night, so even the citizens of Den Guld, who do not all wish to be part of the war, are afraid in their own homes. I think I've heard enough. What must be done before we can attempt to convince the War Council to move forward with diplomacy? We have to put a stop to this plague and find out who or what is responsible for the disappearances. We cannot continue this war if our city is on the brink of collapse from within. I don't have the resources or manpower to deal with all these problems, so I must ask, will you help, young Espen? Very well. What must I do?
I am still debating what might be done about the plague. But in the meantime, I have a lead on the disappearances. I would like you to investigate. The two may well be connected as well.
Okay, disappearances and a plague sounds interesting.
In the local inn, the Curious Cat, a friend of mine is waiting for you. Go speak to them, please. Report back to me when the task is done, and we will speak further.
Okay, travel to the Curious Cat Inn.
Yes.
Sounds like a good place to end it. It's always good to end in an inn. Now, where did I come in here from? Ah, the barracks, perhaps. Was it the barracks? I can't really remember. Like, when we came out, we just kind of out of the cutscene. We were at the table. Yeah, looks like this is the exit here. Yeah.
If you insist.
I'm listening.
And there's the Curious Cat. I guess it would be to the south that way, but before we go that way, I want to go and see what the herbalist has to see if we are able to make healing potions at this point, because that's going to really help us a lot.
I'm listening.
Then we'll go to Curious Cat, see what this guy has to say, then I'll end this episode out. We can, whatever we need to go and do, we could do it in another episode. Well, off camera I'm going to explore the city, because like I say, there's a lot of merchants. I do still have some gold. I've got a cauldron so I can brew potions.
I go.
The herbalist's home.
If you insist. Speak your mind.
You're really starting to get into it. The one thing that I kind of don't like is like the. I guess you gotta have diplomacy in these kind of times, but like going through wading through all that dialogue and having to read it is the least interesting part. But you know, it's times of civil war and yeah, it's all very Game of Thrones stuff. I want to be brewing potions. So, there's a potion of healing. All we need is 2 bruise root.
Hello.
Oh, she has bruise root. And it is only 6. Because it costs like 200 gold, 240 gold for a healing potion, so let me buy some of these. She only has 5. Let me buy all the brews that she has. Demon Wart. Oh, she has spells, she has scrolls, healing mist. Learnable by a spellweaver. Caster surrounded by a pleasant mist which closes the wounds of any ally inside it for 3 turns each ally. Oh, we definitely want that. That's for our lady, our healing lady. Okay, so coming to here is definitely a good idea. She's got lots of stuff. Pretty much everything we need for any potion that we've got so far we can make. See, look, to buy a potion of healing from her is 313 gold. We can't be doing that. Armor of Alnarius. Brilliant armor made of light. Buy that as well. Chance to target's feet with a quickness, granting them increased movement speed. A winter mage can use that. I don't think I have money for it though. Oh, I do. Okay, definitely want that. Dust of surprise and conflagration. Dust of unbelievable injury. Astral dance. By shifting partially into the astral plane, the spell's target becomes more likely to evade attacks. Very cool. Looks like we know where to come to buy our magic when we get some more gold, but let's brew some healing potions first. Also, I could scribe the armor of Elnaris, I guess. No, I can't. That's one to drop for the lady. But I can scribe this one. Yeah. Okay. And Lady Jala.
Yes. I'm always ready.
Adding to her arsenal of spells. Now she's a healer. That's really cool. So spell weavers can cast healing spells. Beautiful, and armor protection. I'm gonna focus spell. Oh, I already know that. Damn, I guess to sell that back then.
What?
Must have got that somewhere else.
Yes?
Oh, I also have some other bits and pieces. I have a chainmail hauberk I don't need. Hardened leather. An animal pelt. A dwarven warhammer, she's buying everything. Let's see. I do have a potion of healing. She'll give me 114 for it and try and sell me back. Sell the animal pelt. Okay, cool. So we still have 500 gold. Let us try brewing. Wow, okay, nice. We can create healing potions. Love it. Okay, so now we have 3 healing potions. That's perfect.
What do you wish of me?
Do I have to spell book to add that into the our hotbar? Healing mist is level 3. We should be able to use that. Or maybe not. Maybe we can only use level 2 spells so far. Because I don't seem to be able to use that yet. Spell level 3. Okay, I guess I can't use level 3 spells yet. Even though I'm level 4. But I can cast armor, but maybe not now. Okay, well let's just move on. We've got new spells. We've got we know where to come when we want more magic, basically. So we've got somewhere else to spend our hard-earned gold. I'll check all those people out later, but let's go to the south and end this episode out. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this first impressions video. Hopefully some of you are tempted to play the game. It's pretty cool. Like I say, I'm looking forward to the higher level stuff. Still only in the very early hours of the game. Well, 10% maybe. Roughly 10% of the way through.
I'm listening. I go.
If you insist, speak your mind.
I wonder if there's an option to get the camera to follow the party. Instead of me having to move it. I mean, it's not a big deal, just kind of want to watch them. Okay, so let's go see this guy at the inn. Who's the Cat's Tavern? Is it in Deron Guld South? Was it? I don't think it was called the Cat's Tavern. I'm forgetting what it was called. There's a picture of a cat there. We suggest that we are in the right area. And a guy with a giant Hobbit-style pipe. Wow. Imagine if you took one blast of that, you'd have lung cancer. But they didn't know about lung cancer in the Middle Ages. They thought it was just demons. Everyone was demons. Everyone was demons back then. Demons or witchcraft, which are, you know, more or less the same thing. Let's find where this tavern is. Curious cat, there we are. You know what curiosity did to the cat?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, and rub its belly. That's for goddamn sure. It didn't give it no dreamies, no dreamy treats. Curiosity done killed the cat. They just banter while we wait for our party to arrive
I go.
at the curious kitty cat. Band of adventurers. Getting ready to go and solve what we want to solve. A plague and disappearances. Some intriguing stuff. We're going to have to leave that for episode 2 because it already probably is over an hour. And that's more enough to, I just wanted to do my thoughts. I originally wanted to keep this like about 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but it shows you just how deep this game is, I guess, and we have all this political stuff. Who are we looking for? Alright. It just says, frail-sized friend inside the Curious Cat. Well, that could be anybody. Well, people on the Curious Cat.
If you insist.
Well, Curious Cats all together. If I was a friend of a lord, where would I most likely be? Would I be at the bar? Would it be by the fireside? Would it be this guy? Would it be this guy? Off-duty soldier, off-duty soldier. Curious Cat patron, Curious Cat patron. Off-duty soldier. Drunkard. Brasdo. Freela. Oh, frail-sized friend. It's marked. It's marked there. Okay, well that was easier than I thought. A little look around. Impressive tavern, a lot of tavern patrons. See what she's saying.
Ah, Espen. Hello, Lord Espen. We've been waiting for you.
Seems a little ominous the way she said that. I thought it was a she by the looks of the clothing, but the artwork suggests a he or maybe a very, very unattractive she. A very manly she. Lord Frelsai told me to come with me. A friend is that you? You're waiting for me. Why? Simply put, we need help from an outsider. Nobody else has come to Deron Guld in recent times. Scarcely anyone leaves at that. But that's not what you're here to speak of. You came to discuss the disappearances, yes? Yep, Lord Frelsay said that you have some information to guide my investigation. We do.
Perhaps you have heard that the mines have ceased to function. One mine has been left empty much longer than the rest. Forbidden, forgotten, it lay vacant and vagrant.
Forbidden, forgotten, vacant and vagrant.
Or it did, until now. A songbird flew from the rubble days past and warbled a warning. Something stirs it. In the tunnels. Something
Just realised I had
there.
EverQuest 2's
Where
login screen in the
nothing
background.
should
That's what that
be.
heroic music was. But they're both fantasy RPGs, and as long as you can hear my audio, I don't think it would have hurt to have a bit of EverQuest music picked up in the background. I'll need to check the video to see if it's even usable now. Thankfully I have a save, which if it's not usable we could just use that. There's one that's like, why does this sound like EverQuest music? It's because it was EverQuest music. Okay. Okay, order until now. A songbird flew from the rubble, days passed and warbled a warning. Something stirs in the tunnel, something there where nothing should be.
Go now. Follow the song. find what waits
Perhaps
in the
the
mines,
dwarfs dug
then
too deep
return
and they've
to me.
awakened the Balrog. Find what... Okay, go now, follow the song. Find what wakes in the mines, then return to me. Travel to Deron Guild Mines. Okay, we're not going to do that on this episode. The mines will be the next one. We're going to rest in a tavern where, you know, all good adventurers should rest. I think we're all fully... We're pretty much good to go. Do we have all our spells?
Yes.
Except mage armour, whatever that is. Armour of Alnarius. Why can't I cast that? Maybe I need to rest. All the other spells are
I'm
there.
listening.
My dwarf is... Well, he needs his spell. Well, I guess we'll get an in-room here. Let's see if we can get
Can I
in.
help you?
You've run under the bar. You're right there. You could just talk to him. I'd like to rent a room. Of course, which one would you like? Cellar Distillery. Brewing and drying while resting here may yield extra results as well as bonus to the skill. That's pretty interesting. Healthy party members encamping in the wilderness. Rest in a room, moderate health to party members. Let's just go for a higher guard. How can I select? Yeah, I want the cellar distillery. Okay, let's just do cellar distillery.
I'm always ready.
As you can cast armor. Now let's see what that looks like then. Wow, okay. Okay, like magic armor, that's really cool, okay. Damn. What does that do exactly? Grants hardened reinforcement bracing to the target. So you should really put that on the tank. Or maybe not, no, maybe one of the honors. Because she's our most powerful spellcaster, so I guess put it on her. Seems like it will only be cast once. Okay, well that's enough for this episode. Episode 2, if you guys want to watch it, we're going to go to the mines, the Deron Guild mines, and see what has awoken. All very intriguing stuff.